Well, back guys to Fog Entertainment. We're here with another movie review, and this one is called Circle. I was scrolling through Netflix last night, and I like these sort of films because they're kind of like survival of the fittest, kind of like a Saw element to it, where like people are put through games. Of course, like Squid Game, like Saw itself. Alice in Borderland. All these shows, like Cube and movies and all. I like this sort of stuff, but 50 strangers are put inside this circle thing, and basically they have to all vote to decide who dies. But we are introduced to one character. She's a ginger woman. Everyone else is asleep, and then a guy dies, and then like they all wake up. Then there's like 49, and they then start getting dragged away. But no one at first can think about why they're all being killed. We've got people of all ages. We have people in their 80s. We have a 10-year-old. We have a pregnant woman. We have people with disabilities. We have gay people. We have this, that, and the fourth. But yeah, they basically figured out that it's a folk. The I don't know what he is, man. I think the Korean guy. He basically figures out that it's a fault if you raise your hand and you can vote. You can choose who to die. So basically, these people have to choose who is the worthy of being the last one left. Some guy figures that out, basically explains, and some guy's like, what if it gets down to the last two people? Then he's like, well, one of them has to decide that they will sacrifice themselves, which is a cool dynamic. But before we get there, we have this college kid. He basically says, well, why don't we make the older people die first? We vote on them. It gives us more time to figure out what the fuck's going on. And this tactic works for a decent bit, because it allows that to happen. But after they kill like 5 coffin dodgers, they turn on him and like, what? So when are we going to pick next? 35 to 40, and then they turn on him. He dies. There's a guy that doesn't speak any English. The generic like fucking capitalist dude. As you can see there with the red tie on, he basically says to the illegal dude, he's like, is he illegal? He's like, yeah, I told you he's illegal. And he's like, so he deserves to die because he doesn't have a fucking green card. It was funny, and he also wanted some of the gay people to die. Well, not die, like, but he's like, you have a kid, she shouldn't be raised in those homes, man. I mean, the guy just seemed like a fucking dick, but also like a diehard Christian. Then there was a woman and a man and wife who were pretending to be a man and wife, but it kind of didn't make any. Well, it does make sense, like, because you would come up with that plan. But at the start, he's like, don't vote for my wife. You can kill me and vote and kill me, but please let my wife live, right? Now, albeit at the start of the game, they might not have known that you needed 2 people, or just one person could survive. But, a bit stupid. But as the herd gets fed, the black guy gets turned on. He's like, pick the black guy. He's like, what the fuck? And they kill him off. Well, that was fucking hilarious. But there was actually 2 people who knew each other. These 2 black people, like, they were like, he's like, you should never marry that asshole. He's like, yeah. And then they both died at the same time. People sacrifice themselves. Like a 16-year-old, he sacrificed himself, and there's a banker dude. He's like, I don't want to die. I want to live. And then he gets killed off. But essentially, it gets thinged down. The guy who basically figured out the game, he's like one of the last guys left. There's a guy who looks like Dwight for The Walking Dead. There's a porn star as well with fake tits. She was pretty hot. Um, you know, but he decides, well, fuck it, Big Dwight. He's like, right, we need to hurt the film. We need to get people in our favour, and we need to pick these women, the woman pregnant and the wee kid to die because they can't make up their own minds. But it eventually boils down to 3 people. He's the 4th to go, 4th last. Then the wee kid dies. Then the woman who's pregnant dies, and then the guy thinks he's won. But then there's one last person. It's the child. So therefore, there's 51 people in this game. Bit weird. You think he dies, but he doesn't. So what? He let the kid die. But how did she give birth? Or because she died, the baby died, and that let him go free? Is that a cliffhanger? I'm not 100% sure. Did she give birth, then it fell out of the circle, and it just got fucking killed? Not 100% sure, guys, but yeah, he survives them, and he acts. He's in like LA by the looks of it. And then he basically spots a load of other people, and they must be other survivors. So maybe, I don't know if there's a circle 2, and maybe it'll be all the winners have to play in one big game, but aliens have invaded essentially, and they're forcing them to play this game. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be aliens, like, but I guess it does make sense. But yeah, it was a really cool dynamic, watching these people, like, people with different values, and Christians and criminals and cops and all. It was really cool. It was a fun movie, but it lacked a bit of. it was like repetitive, obviously, but you know what? I'll give it a solid 6 out of 10. I'd probably watch it again. It was fun. It was entertaining, guys. Can't you complain with that?